Welcome to News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss, and I'm still off center. And someone watching who knows what that joke is about. I hope you enjoyed it. Here now, the news for March 24th, 2021. Facial recognition technology was tested on March 23rd, or started testing on March 23rd at the Magic Kingdom. Walt Disney World has shifted in recent months, obviously, to utilizing more touchless technology. The newest addition could be these touchless entry using facial recognition. The test was optional, and testing will continue sporadically. Test was only conducted for a short period today. Takes place in 3 easy steps. Guests begin by entering the designated facial recognition testing lane. Does sound something out of the future. After that, guests are instructed to remove any hats, visors, or sunglasses before approaching the facial recognition testing zone. And that's where I live, the facial recognition testing zone. Guests will need to position their Magic Band or valid park admission close to a scanner to activate the technology, and then it will capture an image and convert that into a unique number that will be associated with a valid ticket. Disney added a note stating that the security, integrity, and confidentiality of your information are extremely important to us. They go on to state that the images captured will only be stored for 30 days and that the images or unique numbers will not be shared with third parties. They also add that despite strict security measures, quote, no security measures are perfect or impenetrable. So we obviously went and checked it out for ourselves. You can look through all these photos on our website. But again, they will be testing at least for the next 30 days, and obviously the test could continue. This could become permanent. We will see what happens as time progresses. But certainly let us know in the comments if you are for or against this. I know people have certainly seemed very divided on the topic. The heavily anticipated Brightline high-speed rail that would connect Orlando International Airport to Walt Disney World is now scheduled to start service in mid-2026 at the earliest. The route from Disney property to the airport would cost anywhere from $1.03 to $2.1 billion to build, depending on which exact route is selected. Florida transportation authorities recently stated that they gave Brightline a deadline of mid-summer 2021 to negotiate an agreement with local and state agencies. The agreement includes securing leases that would involve adding the station at Disney Springs by the end of 2023. I guess they at least would have to have a contract to start building that by then. Obviously, the Orlando Business Journal is telling us they wouldn't start running the service between the airport and Disney Springs until 2026. With Magical Express set to end on January 1st of next year, the Brightline Rail would not be joining until years after that, so that means people are kind of out of luck traveling to and from Walt Disney World from the airport. The world's most magical celebration begins October 1st, 2021, and Florida car owners can get ready to celebrate by purchasing the first ever Walt Disney World Resort specialty license plate. The design of the license plate, featuring the iridescent 50th anniversary castle logo on a majestic royal blue background, is inspired by the color scheme of the castle, Cinderella Castle, that is. And it's available for pre-sale. Also help make even more dreams come true, with 100% of proceeds benefiting Make-A-Wish of Central and Northern Florida and their work granting wishes for children with life-threatening medical conditions. Interested drivers can purchase a pre-sale voucher now for $25 plus tax. That, by the way, brings you to $33, as I learned today, with fees and all that stuff. Exclusively through your local county tax collector's office, license plate agencies across the state of Florida, or online through the Orange County Tax Collector's Office. We spotted, pun fully intended, some new 101 Dalmatians outfits at Uptown Jewelers in the Magic Kingdom. New is they have this beautiful Perdita dress in a poodle style. We know it's Dalmatian, but yeah, poodle skirt. The bodice of the dress reveals paw print details. It also comes with a matching sweater, retails for $168. There's next the men's bowling shirt, includes Dalmatian print down the center. No puppies were harmed in the making of these pieces, by the way. The back of the shirt has Pongo's Pins bowling team logo, retails for $59.99. And I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I know people are going to ask me. It's a button down. Are you going to buy it? I don't know. I don't know if I can pull off the Dalmatian print. Speaking of not pulling things off, Epcot's new nighttime spectacular Harmonious is expected to debut. Why do people think this show's negative? I have no idea. Epcot's new nighttime spectacular Harmonious is expected to debut sometime this year. Work seems to continue daily on the barges and the centerpiece ring, but now the third of the screen barges has moved into its home on the World Showcase Lagoon, alongside the others that make up what they call the compass in the center of the show. The third screen barge, or taco barge, as some people at home call them, sits right in front of the Japan Pavilion, blocking most of our view of the pavilion from across the lagoon. The barge is all angled towards the center ring. The remaining barge will mirror the one that just joined, and that'll be the last one that needs to go out there. That'll be it. On the heels of that third barge being moved out onto the lagoon, we also saw some interesting testing today of colorful lighting. Thanks to our zoom lens, you're able to see individual colorful lights being tested on that centerpiece ring, or what people at home call it, the Stargate. In the images from a bit further away, you get a better idea of what the lighting might look like. Obviously, it's daytime and not nighttime, but it's interesting. It might be pretty cool at night. You can check out a full video of this test right here on our YouTube channel as well. Legends of Hollywood is home to Pandora jewelry that adds some sparkle on Sunset Boulevard. Storefront recently received some new posters, and the Majestic Theater next door received a new clock as they're finally finishing these storefronts. The marquee, of course, reads Sparkle on Sunset Boulevard, and the new advertisements sit just below it. 4 new posters appear in the windows of the store, with the now redundant A-frame advertisement just in front of them. It's redundant because literally the 2 ads that ended up in these poster frames outside are on this A-frame. You don't need both, guys. Posters have a vintage feel with classic Hollywood movie star vibes. They all advertise Pandora jewelry, which is the store's primary focus. There's Get Yourself a Treat at the Counter, which makes sense because it's supposed to be a movie theater. You know, you get a treat at the concession stand, but yet there are counters in the Pandora jewelry store. Get it? Meanwhile, down the street on the far side of the Majestic Theater, a new Art Deco clock was added to the facade of the Majestic Theater. It's pretty cool. Looks great. So yeah, check those out next time you're at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Shortly after we shared the installation of some new lighting on the marquee of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Imagineer Zach Ridley revealed that an additional LED lighting package was coming to the Chinese theater. Now we have photo and video of that in action. The upgraded nighttime appearance of the Chinese theater features bright gold accents and energy-efficient LED lighting. The golden look is reminiscent of what the theater would have looked like in the early days of the park, at night at least. Park guests may remember that spotlights used to radiate into the sky, and now, albeit they're thinner than they used to be because they're these LED lights, they do have moving spotlights again on the roof, welcoming guests to the Hollywood that never was, but always will be. Spotlights bring premiere night, every night energy as they highlight the iconic golden age of Hollywood architecture. Spotlights can be seen from throughout the park. They're pretty strong, and it really brings some energy that's much needed. You know, we were negative before, but I will tell you, this is fantastic. This is wonderful. It has been sorely missed. And I don't blame them for not putting real spotlights on the roof again. They're not really energy efficient anymore. So it's nice to see. It brings a lot of energy. It makes the theater look right. And the goldish lighting on the theater itself looks fantastic. It's really beautiful. Earth Day celebrations are returning to Disney's Animal Kingdom this year from April 18th through the 24th. Of course, Earth Day being April 22nd. Guests will get to experience unique Disney character appearances, fun learning opportunities, exclusive merchandise, themed treats, and more. You can head on over to our website to read all about it. In celebration of Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, we found a brand new vintage-style popcorn bucket at the theme parks. It was found in Dinoland USA at Animal Kingdom, but we expect it'll be in more places soon. Features the classic Disney characters on classic Disney rides. You see Minnie Mouse at the Haunted Mansion. She's dressed as one of the servants at the attraction. And Minnie and Daisy are going on Splash Mountain as well. And yes, that is Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, so expect to see this in Anaheim as well. On the reverse side, you see Donald Duck as a Jungle Cruise skipper, Goofy on Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Pluto as the dog with the keys from Pirates of the Caribbean, and Daisy Duck enjoying a Mickey's Premium Ice Cream Bar in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle. And if you look closely, you even see Mickey Mouse enjoying popcorn from the bucket you're holding. This is like Inception. Characters are set against a beautiful teal background and topped off with an orange lid. The art and colors are reminiscent of 1970s Disney World merchandise for sure. And really in their art style and shape, they really look a lot like the old, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the original tin lunchbox for Walt Disney World, but it's very similar. This bucket retails for $12. Following the popularity of Sleeping Beauty Castle Cookie Jar, a new cookie jar featuring Carl Fredricksen's house from Up and its colorful balloons has made its way to Disneyland Resort. Inspired by Disney Pixar's Up, the ceramic cookie jar is a sweet addition to your kitchen. Colorful piece of decor allows you to bring home a replica of Carl's house while using it to store some sweet treats. The Up cookie jar retails for $54.99, can be found at the World of Disney in the downtown Disney district, but it's also online at Shop Disney. Earlier this month, the Peter Pan's Flight Wishables collection landed at Disney parks, but now some other high-flying characters are coming next month. Via Instagram user That Disney Teacher, we found out that next month's collection is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout at Disney California Adventure. Ooga chaka, everybody. The first slide shows the packaging of the Wishables, and the second slide shows all 5 in the adorable collection. Peter Quill as Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, Baby Groot, and Rocket Raccoon are all there. And yeah, I need all of these. These are great. Disneyland Paris guests staying at Disney's Hotel New York, The Art of Marvel, will have many options to make their stay truly epic, as indicated by updates to the Disneyland Paris app. According to the update, guests will be able to open hotel doors using just their phones. This is new for Disneyland Paris. Guests will also be able to book an epic moment with their favorite superheroes at the Superhero Station, a meet and greet. Last summer, we revealed new images of the reimagined Hotel New York, bringing in Marvel properties such as Captain America and Iron Man to the hotel. The application update also reveals the opportunity to book, again, those meet and greet opportunities with Marvel favorites like Spider-Man. Marvel fans, however, will still have to wait, as Hotel New York, The Art of Marvel is not scheduled to reopen with Disneyland Paris, at least at the moment, but Disneyland Paris recently delayed its April 2nd reopening until an unspecified future date. A notice was sent to Disneyland Paris cast members stating that on March 25th, those 55 and over or with pre-existing conditions are eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine will roll out to additional cast members depending on the number of vaccines available and is directed by French authorities. The vaccination will not be mandatory, but appointments will be available to those who qualify. The AstraZeneca vaccine will be available via appointments 2 days a week at local pharmacies. 210 doses will be available per week for eligible cast members. Hopefully, the rollout of COVID-19 vaccinations for cast members is a good sign of things to come. I know Paris has had a rough couple of weeks and is in a state of emergency again, so some good news for them. Last week, we reported that Tokyo Disney Resort raised its capacity to 10,000 guests starting March 22nd. Now we have further information on how capacity will be raised in the coming weeks, as well as announced operating hour changes from the Oriental Land Company. As of now, Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea are operating again at 10,000 guests, as requested by the Chiba Prefecture government. Starting April 1st, the park may raise capacity to 20,000 guests through April 19th. After April 19th, parks are allowed to operate at 50% capacity. Additionally, OLC has released a roadmap of park hours through the next month. Currently, both parks are open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. through March 31st. But starting in April, the parks will operate as follows through April 18th. Tokyo Disneyland 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Disney Sea 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. There's no word on whether Disneyland will return to 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. from April 19th on, although it seems likely given that 50% bump, capacity bump that may be coming at that time. Tokyo Disney Resort was estimated to be operating around 65 to 70% capacity when the state of emergency took effect in January, though the Oriental Land Company only mentioned above 50% in their third quarter filings. After nearly a year of delays, Tokyo Disneyland will finally hold the Happy Fair with Baymax, an event starting April 5th. The Happy Fair, previously scheduled for June 1st of last year and January 13th of this year, features a greeting with your personal healthcare companion as its centerpiece, along with decor around Tomorrowland. Guests are required to use the entry request lottery system to meet Baymax. Decorations will be in place all over Tomorrowland, including window wraps for Tomorrowland Terrace, trash cans that look like Baymax, which is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and special photo spots. There will also be 3 mochi statues hidden throughout Tomorrowland, which guests can search for. Additionally, food and beverage and merchandise commemorating the Happy Fair is already available, including the Baymax burger, which we already reviewed. A brand new Funko Pop vinyl figure is coming to Amazon, and fans of the Jungle Cruise will love this addition to the Ride Vehicles collection. This pop is scheduled to be released on June 27th, but pre-orders are available now. Mickey Mouse has taken over as a Jungle Cruise skipper on this Funko Pop. The iconic Jungle Cruise boat has a vintage bright red and white awning and classic engine. A previous Jungle Cruise Funko Pop was released last year of the Congo Queen with a cast member skipper, but in this version you have Mickey Mouse. The ride vehicle collection, of course, includes Disneyland Funko Pops released last year, such as Peter Pan's Flight, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and Dumbo the Flying Elephant. According to the OC Register, Disney legend Jim Cora has passed away on Sunday, March 21st, following a brief hospitalization. Cora began his Disneyland career working part-time as an attractions host cast member cleaning 3D glasses for the Mickey Mouse Club Theater. After 43 years with the company, Cora retired as the chairman of Disney International. Cora thanked Walt Disney himself for his quick rise through the company. He recounts an incredible story where Walt Disney sent teenage Cora to the Disneyland Administrative Building to find Van Arsdale, France. Cora was instructed to tell him Walt sent you. I think he may have something for you. Van Arsdale founded Disney University. Jim Cora went on to join the opening team of Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room and then the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World, where he was responsible for implementing the Disney Way of Leadership program. Cora then helped redesign the area concept of Disneyland Park, leading him to be responsible for Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. In 1979, Cora became the managing director of operations for Tokyo Disneyland. He held the responsibility for all of the operational planning, management, and training for the park. Before the park opened, he was promoted to vice president of Walt Disney Productions Japan Limited to help oversee the Oriental Land Company and to uphold Disney's operational standards. After his time in Japan, Cora moved back home to California and assumed the role of vice president of Disneyland International in 1983. Shortly thereafter, Cora took on the project of negotiating agreements and master planning for the Disneyland Paris project. He was promoted to vice president and COO of the Euro Disney Corporation. In 1995, Jim was promoted to president of Disneyland International, where he oversaw the development of Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea. His final focus, to develop and maintain strategies that would allow Tokyo Disney Resort to succeed and grow. That included the development of Tokyo Disney Sea. He retired from this position in 2001 with the completion of the park. Josh D'Amaro, the current Parks and Resorts chairman, claims that Jim Cora was one of the few remaining connections to Walt Disney. D'Amaro said in his statement, quote, "His dedication to bringing Disney magic to people around the world was only matched by the passion he exuded throughout his career and for the many years that followed. I always loved hearing Jim's thoughts about our business. He was one of our last connections to Walt Disney, and he will be missed dearly." Jim Cora is a name that is not talked about enough in history, and Jim is such a pivotal part of the development and success of Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, and Disneyland Paris, which I think are three of the best Disney parks that have ever been built. And I think Jim is a big part of operationally and in the case of Disney Sea, creatively, why those parks were such successes. The Disney parks, as they exist today, would not be what they are without Jim Cora, and we owe him a debt of gratitude. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, The Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next trip. The best part, their services are free. Hotel, park tickets, fast passes, dining, and more. Well, when fast passes come back, at least. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. The Vacationeer, the official travel agency of WDWNT. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. A carousel of products update. We have a new shirt dropping this Thursday at WDW News Tonight. If you're a fan of the Mexico Pavilion at Epcot. Donde está maintenance? Get this on Thursday. I think we're doing 200 of these. Of course, there's the Carousel Products logo on the sleeve, bright green, very vibrant, very fun. Make sure you pick this up at carouselproducts.com. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Cora saying enjoy the rest of your today. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Park Center. Each week we pick the top 7 stories in Disney Parks news from around the globe, and the panel and I break down, discuss, and debate what they mean for us, the fans. From the latest announcements to openings and delays to scandals and snacks and merchandise and more, we cover it all in 30 minutes. So join us every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/WDWNT and watch episodes on demand anytime. Or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.